You know, most professionals work inside a supply chain literally every single day. But if you ask them to explain how the entire system actually fits together, well, you usually just get a lot of blank stares. And it makes sense, right? We all tend to suffer from a bit of tunnel vision. We get super hyper focused on our own specific functions, whether that's procurement, manufacturing, logistics, whatever. But today we're curing that tunnel vision. In this video, we are mapping every single link, all the way from raw material origin right to the customer's doorstep. I'm going to show you exactly why stepping back and understanding this full end-to-end picture is, hands down, the single biggest career advantage you can build in this industry. And hey, before we dive into the map itself, I want to give you a massive advantage right up front. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Every video in this month's series is going to unpack one specific part of the end-to-end map we're about to look at. Seriously, subscribing to this series is going to give you a deep, holistic understanding of the whole system. You really don't want to miss out on this. All right, let's jump in. We've got a great roadmap for this video, covering 5 critical pillars of a supply chain system. First, the end-to-end map. Second, surviving cross-functional chaos. Third, building agility and resilience. Fourth, the digital supply chain. And finally, measuring what matters most. So starting with Section 1, the end-to-end map, specifically looking at the ASCM Score Digital Standard. Look, to really wrap our heads around something this incredibly complex, we need a universal blueprint. And the SCORE framework brilliantly illustrates that end-to-end flow. It basically breaks down the life cycle of a product into 6 critical phases. It kicks off with plan. This is where you're developing the roadmaps to operate the entire chain, balancing your resources with your real-time requirements. Then we move right into order, which is managing the actual customer purchase. After that is source. Now, this is the incredibly complex process of procuring the physical raw materials you need. Next up comes transform, which is where your manufacturing team turns those raw materials into the actual finished product. Then fulfill, executing that final physical delivery out to the customer. And lastly, return, handling the reverse flow of goods back through the network. So this isn't just a textbook theory, it's the literal physical anatomy of how a concept becomes reality. Moving right along to Section 2, surviving cross-functional chaos, or what happens when silos fail. Here's the thing, a map is really just paper until actual people execute it. And when those people are stuck in functional silos, it almost always leads to massive missteps across the whole organization. Let's look at this real-world case study from Milliken. Imagine this. Your procurement team goes out, finds a new raw material supplier, and buys it because it's significantly cheaper. Bam! On paper, they look like absolute heroes, right? But wait, look at the systemic impact. Those cheaper materials arrive at the plant, and suddenly, manufacturing is dealing with massive quality rejections and delays. Why did this happen? Well, it turns out the new material just doesn't react correctly during the manufacturing process. The previous supplier had actually worked really closely with the plant floor to dial in some very specific tolerances. But because manufacturing wasn't involved early on with this new purchase, what looked like a massive cost-saving win actually resulted in huge production losses. That right there, that is cross-functional chaos in a nutshell. Which brings us to Section 3, building agility and resilience, and bouncing back from disruption. Did you know research shows supply chains experience a 1 to 2 month disruption every 3.7 years on average? It's inevitable. You can't avoid the shock, so your survival depends entirely on how you respond. Let's look at 2 absolute masterclasses in resilience. Back in 2011, a massive earthquake in Japan caused a devastating 6-month halt in Toyota's production. It was huge, but they learned from it. They completely revamped their strategy and patched up those vulnerabilities. Fast forward to 2016, another major earthquake hits, but this time, their recovery took just 2 weeks. Incredible. Then, think about Nike during the COVID-19 pandemic. When all the physical stores shut down overnight, they didn't just freeze up. They utilized predictive analytics and RFID technology to instantly reroute their massive inventory straight to digital sales channels. While their competitors' numbers absolutely plummeted, Nike limited their regional sales decline to just 5%. They pivoted brilliantly because fundamentally, their supply chain was built for agility. Now into Section 4, the digital supply chain, often called Supply Chain 4.0. So how exactly do world-class companies manage all this crazy complexity and risk? Well, they do it through aggressive digital transformation. To build Supply Chain 4.0, McKinsey outlines a few core components. It all starts with the brain, right? Predictive analytics leveraging machine learning for hyper-accurate demand forecasting. And that's paired with automated closed-loop planning that can literally replan in real time the second constraints change.
Then in the physical realm, you've got advanced robotics and autonomous vehicles completely transforming how warehouses operate. Add in no-touch order processing, which totally automates the flow from order intake straight to confirmation. And yes, even blockchain is playing a part here, guaranteeing completely secure, transparent transaction tracking across entirely different companies.
And the why behind all this technology? It's staggering. When you combine functional excellence with a truly digital supply chain, you unlock peak performance across every single dimension: service, capital, cost, and agility. We're talking about the potential for up to 30% lower operational costs. That's massive, and an incredible 75% reduction in lost sales and inventories. Listen, this is not just some incremental 1% improvement we're talking about. It is a total ground-up transformation of your entire business model.
Finally, Section 5, Measuring What Matters Most, Building the Scorecard. To actually manage a digital powerhouse like that, the golden rule of business definitely still applies. You absolutely cannot improve what you do not measure. KPIs act as the critical glue holding this entire system together. Let's break it down. Under delivery, you've got on-time delivery, a simple but absolutely ruthless measure of trust. It tracks what percentage of orders hit that agreed date. Simple. For inventory, inventory turnover tells you exactly how efficiently your cash is moving instead of just, sitting collecting dust in a warehouse somewhere. Then under quality, first pass yield is huge. It tracks the units manufactured correctly the very first time. Rework is incredibly expensive, so getting it right out the gate is paramount. And finally, total supply chain costs captures your true end-to-end expenses. By rigorously tracking these leading and lagging indicators, you get the real-time visibility you need to ensure your entire supply chain is humming along flawlessly. Well, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground in this video today, from the SCOR model all the way down to predictive analytics and key performance indicators. Stepping back to actually see this whole system gives you a massive career advantage over anyone still stuck in their functional silos. So I want to leave you with this question. Is your organization currently operating as a sleek, interconnected digital ecosystem? Or are you really just a collection of disconnected silos waiting for the next big disruption to hit? Think about it. And hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because every single video this month is going to be a deep dive into unparking one specific link of this map. You definitely won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next video.